What's up, guys? William Wallace here with SpyOptionsTraders.com, bringing you the daily recap on the market here, trading SPY. Looking at the close here, seeing some of the dark pool trades that are coming out. Let's recap some of the trades we made today. So before we got into today, there was a few things that I was looking at. First of all, we had some key resistance points and some transition points with 298 being kind of anything below that being bearish, and we opened way below that, and actually opening so low that I really didn't figure we would get any further down until we got a bounce. So waited for the bounce, got the bounce. It kind of topped out up here before we got a new hourly candle right up here, and that was also at that point in time was also right at our 20 MA on the hourly chart. So that was a key resistance point there. The MFI started topping out, so we took a short position and rode it all the way down. Then it started forming this triangle consolidation, and so we were watching that, and it popped out of here right here. Now it popped out and came back down, and this is kind of usual whenever it breaks these patterns. You typically do see it sort of pop out and then come back down to retest. And I would have expected it to bounce from 298, but today was really kind of weak, and so it dropped down a little bit further than that and then popped back up. So we got in right as it rested over 298 and rode a call up, but it was moving so slow that if you held on to that call too long, even though the price action continued to move up, it would have lost a lot of its value just because of time. So that was not a bad play. It did continue to go up. We got a nice little pop here, which on our ES chart, we'll roll back over here. That action on ES was right about 3,000. So knowing that 3,000 is a major resistance point, really a pivot point for ES, a key line it's got to get over. You can see it here on the hourly chart that overnight it dropped, and it dropped past 3,000. That was the key line. It dropped below. So after that drop overnight, this was basically a retest of 3,000 to see if it is support, can be support again, or if it remains solid resistance. And we determined that it may remain solid resistance. So it got rejected, tried, got rejected pretty good here, and then came back down, and actually forming this head and shoulders on the chart. So we got this little head and shoulders pattern you can see here with the neckline right there at about 298.57. So into close, and this is very typical of SPY, into close we got a nice little ride. So went short here, just playing the last 10 minutes into close, and got a nice little 20% play. It didn't drop too bad, so that's not a terrible sign, but it definitely gave us a nice little ride down into close. So that wasn't a bad day. Kind of boring, really, trading SPY. It was moving very slow today, just kind of sideways. The hourly chart, you can see it kind of is just consolidating after 11 o'clock, just consolidating pretty much sideways here, and it was extremely excruciating in so many ways, but it did what it did. Now if we look at the daily chart, on the daily we've got as mentioned, this drop from Friday, and we've got what's it made a lower low on the daily, and so that's what I was saying we needed to watch for in the analysis this morning, is we needed to watch and make sure it did not make a lower low, but it did. But it's not a terrible candle. However, if we look at the futures, ES, this is more of an inside candle on ES. And even though it does make a lower low, it looks more like a candle to continue going down. So we may see it drop down something like 29.70 on ES, or on SPY, maybe something like 296, which would not be a bad area to bounce from necessarily, but we'll just see how that continues to develop on the daily chart. But this is not necessarily a bullish sign there for tomorrow. When I was making the analysis last night, I mentioned that I would really like to see some consolidation, which we got. Monday, and then maybe a boost back up Tuesday. But the way we made a lower low today, I'm not as confident about that as I was. So we'll watch and see what happens tomorrow. Anyways, that's pretty much our day today here on Monday, the 22nd of September, 23rd of September, excuse me. Getting into the end of September, and we'll see how the month closes as the monthly chart closes out as well. That'll be interesting to see kind of how that closes out. So again, William Wallace here from SPY Options Traders. If you're not joining us in the chat already, you should. We alert these trades live during the day and talk about the trades and how we can learn how to do these without the alerts and be a self-sufficient, consistent, focused trader with a good strategy. So look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow.